Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, family members remain concerned for a missing Lexington native and her husband in Brussels.
Also on WKYT, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are inching closer to earning their presidential nominations after winning delegates out west.
And funeral arrangements have been planned for a Louisville family killed in a murder-suicide over the weekend.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. It's your Wednesday. We've made it to Hump Day this week. I'm Bill Bryant.
We've survived, and I'm Michelle Chamberlain. What a beautiful day it is outside.
It really is. I mean, already you can tell, you know, the birds are singing even in the pre-dawn darkness out there this morning. Beautiful morning, though, Micah, with the moon and Jupiter still very visible.
Oh, absolutely. And now you have a full moon outside. Yesterday was 99%. Today, full moon. And, boy, you can see everything as you walk out the door. Frankfort, Lexington, Richmond, anywhere across the viewing area, nothing going on. Temperatures there in the 50s, and that goes for every location in our viewing area at this moment. It's a good feel outside. It really is. Then we hit the afternoon, 68 degrees, and now that is a couple of degrees higher than where we were yesterday. Yesterday we finished off at 66, and so here we go, heading toward that 70-degree reading. Nonetheless, we'll start to see some clouds move on in, gusty winds, and that's out ahead of our rain that's going to be moving in tomorrow with the severe weather threat in the forecast. I'm going to show you who has the best chance coming up.
All right, see you in a bit. Thank you.
A Lexington native and her husband remain missing following the terror attacks in Brussels, Belgium.
Family members say Stephanie and Justin Schultz were last seen at the Brussels airport with Stephanie's mother when the bombs exploded yesterday. Now, nearly 24 hours later, both are still unaccounted for. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us from our live desk with more of our continuing coverage. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. The family says the State Department told them that the couple is not on the casualty list. They think it's possible they've not been able to call home because they've been caught in the chaos the past 24 hours. They're hoping they're just recovering in a hospital somewhere. Waiting to hear from the missing couple has been agonizing for their families. The worst part for them, not knowing what happened. Stephanie Schultz and her husband were last seen at the Brussels airport yesterday morning when they were dropping off her mother. They were waiting near the check-in line when the bombs exploded. Schultz's mother was knocked off her feet, but she survived. Many others did not. At least 34 people are dead and 214 others were injured when terrorists triggered a series of explosions at the airport and subway. Stephanie is from Lexington, where she's a graduate of Bryan Station High and Transylvania University. She met her husband Justin while they were getting their master's degrees at Vanderbilt University. Justin's brother has not stopped looking for them.
I started, finding videos, just any little thing, because there's all kinds of videos on Facebook and Twitter and things like that, just hoping I'd see them.
While they are more than 4,000 miles away, the family says they will continue searching through footage of the attacks, looking for faces in the crowd, trying to find Stephanie and Justin. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Belgians here in the U.S. have kept a close eye on the latest developments happening in their home country. Margot Lucrow is a freshman tennis player at EKU. Her hometown is about an hour from where the explosions took place. She said her loved ones were not hurt in the attacks, but she says now she wishes she could be back with her home with her family, as this will likely be life-changing for everyone in Belgium.
When it happens in your hometown, like in your country, you realize that it can happen to everyone, that it can happen to you too, actually. And that's the feeling that I didn't have before.
Lucrow says by way of social media and texting, she was able to reach her family and friends who let her know they were not hurt.
Federal and local officials are beefing up security at cities across the country in response to the events in Brussels. Additional officers will be on guard patrolling the nation's airports and transit systems. Homeland Security officials maintain there is no specific credible intelligence against the U.S.
On the campaign trail, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump took home wins in Arizona yesterday.
But both candidates were denied a sweep, falling to rivals in some other states. Don Champion has the latest on the campaign.
On the heels of what appears to have been record voter turnout, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump grabbed big wins in Arizona Tuesday. Afterwards in Seattle, Clinton reminded supporters what's at stake in this election.
This is a contest between fundamentally different views of our country, our values, and our future.
Rival Bernie Sanders won Democratic caucuses in Utah and Idaho and declared his campaign is alive now more than ever.
This campaign is doing as well as it is generating the kind of energy and excitement we're seeing here in San Diego and all over this country.
On the Republican side, Trump picked up all of Arizona's 58 delegates, and Ted Cruz won Utah's Republican presidential caucus. As results poured in, the feud between the men escalated online when Trump accused Cruz in a tweet of using a racy GQ shoot picture of his wife in an attack ad. Trump then threatened, quote, "Be careful, lying Ted, or I will spill the beans on your wife." Cruz later denied the claim and responded, "Donald, if you try to attack Heidi, you're more of a coward than I thought. Hashtag classless." Don Champion, CBS News.
Well, Ted Cruz is on pace to pick up all of Utah's 40 delegates because he is finishing with more than half of the vote in that state.
Former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin may make a comeback to reality TV. She recently signed a deal with a production company for a Judge Judy type show. Palin does not have a law degree, but if the show is picked up, it would premiere next year. Now, you may remember this is not Palin's first reality show venture. She starred in TLC's Sarah Palin's Alaska back in 2010. Most recently, Palin was back in the spotlight for endorsing Republican candidate Donald Trump.
The Kentucky Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against Volkswagen. Democrat Andy Beshear claims the automaker's emissions rigging scheme violates the state's consumer protection law. The lawsuit, which was filed in state court, seeks civil penalties of millions of dollars along with restitution for nearly 3,800 vehicle owners here in Kentucky. The U.S. Justice Department is also suing Volkswagen for emissions cheating software that was found in vehicles. Well, we have some new information this morning on a story we first brought you this time yesterday.
Lexington police caught up with the second suspect wanted in a gas station robbery that ended with a police paddy wagon being hit by a car. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner has obtained the court documents detailing what led to that man's arrest. She joins us live from the Marathon gas station on Newtown Pike with those new developments.
They were spotted filling up their gas tank to what police are calling a previously stolen vehicle after allegedly robbing another gas station. Now, what we know this morning, police have arrested 18-year-old Quantavian Level and another man for robbing a gas station on Newtown Pike in the early morning hours Tuesday. Investigators say while one man waited in the car, the other suspect, who was armed, robbed the gas station. According to police, the two men got away in a red Jeep Wrangler. It wasn't long before police spotted 18-year-old Quantavian Level putting gas in the Jeep at a Thornton's over on Georgetown Road. According to the arrest citation, after police directed Level and the other man to exit the stolen vehicle, they again fled, swiping a police paddy wagon on their exit. They led police on a chase, then fled by foot after turning onto Whitney Avenue. Both men are in police custody. Level is set for arraignment this afternoon in court at 1 o'clock. He faces multiple charges. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now, funeral arrangements have been set for a family police say died in a murder-suicide. Louisville police say Brad Hettinger killed his wife, Billy, and the couple's children, 5-year-old Colin and 4-year-old Courtney, before taking his own life Sunday. The couple lived in Lexington before moving to Louisville. A joint service will be held for Billy Hettinger and the two children. Their visitation will be from 3 until 8 tomorrow at Betson West Funeral Home in Nicholasville. The funeral will be Friday morning at 10 at the funeral home. All three will be buried at Camp Nelson National Cemetery.
State police have launched an investigation after finding possible human remains in Harlan County. Police say the remains were found in a wooded area at the top of a hill near the Kaywood community around noon yesterday. Police say, though, it could be a few more days before investigators can determine what the remains actually are.
Vandals left behind something ugly at a central Kentucky attraction known for its beauty. Many people hike up the pinnacles in Madison County to enjoy this breathtaking view, but vandals have been leaving behind graffiti on some of the rocks there. Berea College owns the land in that area. Forestry workers for the college say the graffiti has become more common in recent years. People who visit the pinnacles often worry the graffiti will turn some visitors away.
I mean, it makes it trashy. It's not naturistic when there's permanent paint on a rock that was so cool.
Now, Berea College says they'll have to bring a generator to the summit to power wash the graffiti off of the rocks. But of course, that's not an easy task, and forestry workers aren't sure how long that will take.
It is a spectacular view there from the pinnacles for sure. The time this morning is 5:40. Detroit is now offering 2 years of free tuition at a community college to all of the city's future high school graduates. Detroit created a permanent fund called the Detroit Promise to pay for the program. It will be partially funded by city property taxes. The hope is that the lure of a 2-year college scholarship will make more people decide to relocate to Detroit. Mayor Mike Duggan says he has high hopes for the program.
This is the kind of thing we need to do more of, and we're going to build from here to the point where we're ultimately going to raise money so that we have 4 years. But today, the promise is 2 years.
Detroit Regional Chamber started putting money aside for the program in 2013, 5 years after state legislation was passed to allow for such programs. And we're going to check traffic for you this morning, bright and early. Our live drive look to see what's going on out there as you head in on your Wednesday. And here's a look right now. A lot of green on there. We have no reports of any real delays or problems early this morning. Beautiful, clear skies out there. Hopefully it's a good ride in for you. And we hope you'll keep it here on WKYT this morning. There's a lot more coming up.
A mall Easter bunny now finds himself in trouble with the law after using his fluffy fist to settle a beef.
We're pretty dry this morning. We're going to stay that way later on this afternoon, but we get into tomorrow and there comes some changes with those thunderstorms. We'll talk about the timing on this coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking on First Alert Offender Radar Network, nothing going on this morning. The difference from this morning to tomorrow morning on Radar Network is we're going to be seeing some showers head our direction. The storms come tomorrow afternoon and evening. I'm going to break that down for you here in just about 30 to 45 seconds. Right now, we're looking at the 50s. It's a good feel outside. Once you step out the door, it's still a little cool. And the reason why it's cool, even though we're close to our average high for this time of year, but even though we're there, you have the winds going outside, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and that makes it feel a little cool. But once that sun rises, it's going to be another good-looking day in store. We get into the afternoon, we're mid to upper 60s. There will be a few locations inching closer toward that 70-degree reading. Off into the evening, this is a good evening out on the patio, unless those winds are still gusty at that time. But still, 63 degrees, not too bad. Clouds will be on the increase tonight and into tomorrow morning. Look at 7 a.m. tomorrow. See the rain, that is not your severe weather threat. Your severe weather threat is still well back toward the west. But this is good news for us. This is what we want to happen. And the reason being is the more rain, the more cloud cover we have in here before the storms get going, better likelihood of us not seeing strong to severe storms, okay? So you get a lot of rain in here during the morning hours. We're not getting a lot, but we're getting at least some. This limits that sunshine from actually reaching the ground and giving us a lot of energy to deal with these thunderstorms. Nonetheless, we still expect a line of storms to move through. The severity of that will depend on how much rain we actually get during the morning hours and how much cloud cover we have. But there's the look. Anywhere from, I would say, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. across the west, and that goes for 71 up toward Carroll, Trimble, those areas, Gallatin. And then it moves toward the bluegrass anywhere from 4 to about 7 p.m. And then it slides eastbound anywhere from 7 p.m. to about 11 p.m. Now, that's the timing on it right now. We'll see how it progresses as it crosses over most of the midsection of the United States. But as of right now, that's the timing on that. It gets on out of here right around midnight, and we could get a sprinkle there on Friday morning. Cooler air settles on in as we approach Friday afternoon. That's much cooler air. So you'll feel that on Friday, but you know what? It jumps right back up on Saturday. Look at Saturday at 66 degrees. 69 on Sunday. I want to tell you this on Sunday, that the timing on this is mainly evening and nighttime hours. Granted, it's 5 days away. That's the timing right now. But if you're making plans, if you're having to make plans at this moment, just know that you'll have that chance of rain during some part of Sunday. We're pretty confident that we'll see at least some rain, whether it be evening and night or whether it moves up toward the afternoon. So just keep that in mind. If you're trying to make plans, I would say if you have to be 100% confident right now, just do everything on Saturday. Sunday is more of that better chance of rain during the weekend.
Be watching for that. All right. Thank you very much. 5:47 is the time.
Yep, and meeting the Easter Bunny can be a happy tradition for kids. Not really mine, but it also has been known to freak some kids out.
Were you one of those?
Yes.
But
My kids will not meet the bunny.
I understand. But everybody probably got freaked out a little when a brawl broke out between an Easter bunny and a shopper.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this is how it went down at the Jersey City Mall. The floppy gloves came off after a shopper got angry when his child fell off of the bunny's lap. Words were exchanged, and then out came the rabbit punches. Both men were charged with assault. Both had outstanding warrants, it turned out. Authorities confirmed the warrant on the bunny was for, and this is real, fare hopping.
What?
So, yeah, I guess didn't pay a fare. But there you go, beat down with the bunny.
Well, it looks though he took off his fuzzy mitts.
Yeah, right. So there you go. So at least the kids saw he was a guy in a fight. All right, good to have you along on WKYT with a lot more news coming right up.
Yeah, coming up, you'll get the stories making news at this hour.
We'll check traffic again, see how things are moving along, what's hot on the web and social media, some health news, and a lot more here on WKYT. Good morning. Welcome back in. Here we are on Wednesday. It's March 23rd. We're into this first week of spring. I'm Bill Bryant, and Michelle Chamberlain's in with us today. We have a lot going on, right?
We sure do. Let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on at this hour.
A Lexington native and her husband are still unaccounted for this morning in Brussels. Stephanie and Justin Schultz were last seen at the Brussels airport just before a bomb ripped through the terminal. Family members are searching through footage of the attacks. They're hoping to find either Stephanie or Justin's face in those crowds.
And Lexington police are searching for a man who robbed the Shell station on New Circle and Russell Cave Road this morning. The suspect got away, but police hope surveillance footage will help lead to an arrest because the man did not cover his face. The hunt continues for at least one suspect who remains at large following Tuesday's terror attacks in Belgium.
Authorities have been conducting raids in Brussels, searching for a third man who's pictured here with two of the suspected suicide attackers. More than 30 people died yesterday when explosions were set off at an airport and at a train station in the country's capital. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attacks. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are inching closer to their party's presidential nominations following victories in Arizona's primary. The win gives Trump all of the state's 58 delegates, while delegates will be awarded proportionally for the Democrats.
A new CDC report should help pediatricians deal with the Zika virus.
It outlines ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat children with the mosquito-borne virus. The CDC says Zika should be suspected if a child traveled to an affected area and has at least 2 symptoms, including fever, rash, joint pain, or pink eye. New research looks at treating hospitalized patients for delirium, and it finds that antipsychotic drugs may not work. Older people in hospitals or long-term care facilities are at higher risk of delirium.
And researchers in California say people who smoke pot for many years end up in lower paying, less skilled jobs. They tracked hundreds of children through adulthood and found regular users ended up in a lower social class than their parents. So let's get a check this hour at today's traffic trouble spots with live drive traffic and a lot of green out there. And this kind of works like the colors of the spotlights outside, or the stop signs outside. Green is good, yellows go slowly, red is stop, and a lot of green out there, so that's a good thing. So time to check what's making news online this morning. Bill joins us now with what's happening on the net.
Well, right now on WKYT.com, the continuing efforts to contact the Lexington native and her husband still missing after the attacks in Brussels. Family members doing all they can to try to reach them. We're keeping that story updated on air and online. We've been chasing some other local angles to the international story as well, including talking with a Belgian student who is now studying at EKU over in Richmond. Well, the results are still rolling out from last night's presidential contests out west, but as we've been reporting, front-runners Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump won their party primaries in Arizona. We have a story up now about where the race stands now. Also trending, a heartbreaking loss for Georgetown College in the NAIA National Basketball Championship. The Tigers were ahead in overtime until Mid-American hit a last-second shot and took the championship trophy home to Oklahoma City. In Frankfort, a Senate bill would fund Kentucky's universities and colleges in the future based on some competition. The bill would call for schools to get some of their money based on performance. They would be measured in some areas like graduation and retention rates. And CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener and, of course, the latest on the terror attacks in Brussels and from the campaign trail. And we'll have local updates as well. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest news anytime, WKYT.com.
Everything looks good this morning. No real fog issues and nothing going on. Clear skies. Things look fantastic. They feel pretty good, too. We're at 50 degrees now in Somerset. Much warmer than yesterday, about 25 degrees to 30 degrees warmer there in Monticello just 24 hours ago. So this is a really nice feel out and about, much better than where we have been the past few days. Frankfort coming in at 55 degrees, and we go through your day. Once we hit noontime, low 60s. Then we hit the afternoon, we're talking mid to upper 60s with even a few locations right around 70 degrees. The good news here is we stay dry, and we also start to see those clouds on the increase, and that goes through the night and into tomorrow. Clouds never hurt anybody. They don't bother anybody. But when the clouds start to increase, you know things are starting to change. Something's on the way. And there is a strong to severe weather threat tomorrow, which we're going to be talking more about coming up. Further detail on WKYT News at 6 in just a couple of minutes.